Mercury retrograded last month on July 18th in Leo and has continued its backward motion in the sign, turning direct on August 11th. The archetype of Leo has been heavily impacted recently by Mars in Leo, retrograde from December 2024 through February of 2025, where he met up several times before and after with power player Pluto in Aquarius. Pluto is the new authority figure abuser, and in Aquarius it is related to technology, collectivism, and a technocratic future. The most obvious in-your-face example is the encroachment of AI into all walks of life, soon eliminating many white-collar jobs. The people who will survive will be ones who have a unique human voice and message. Calling all artists. Leo is also leadership and could of course be ego-based, but in a more perfect world would be generously heart-based. We are all questioning the relevance or integrity of powerful entities and calling them to task. And while, as previous generations, we will be somewhat swept up in the history of the times, we can still have some agency in our personal lives and our thoughts. Likewise, our creations, if authentic and divinely inspired, can topple any machine or MLM in influence. As Mercury retro brings us back to the scene of the crime, we may have dealt one more time with exes, whether personal or professional. In some cases, it could be with the ex that returned during last year's Mars retrograde, previously mentioned above. If one of the main issues was one of autonomy and recognition, appreciation and support, this is likely the sticking point in this Mercury retrograde period. And while in the scheme of things, Mercury retro is a relatively everyday type of transit, because the background energy of the life-altering Saturn-Neptune conjunction, what is discussed or argued now is truly about the salvation of our authenticity. If we have played small for others or succumbed to their demands, we must overthrow that authority figure now, as they are likely replaying old family scripts, particularly around a father figure. And one psychological type that has popularly emerged is the narcissistic abuser. Of course, this person, or yourself, was wounded early on by their caretakers and now continues to childishly but bullyingly demand fealty and undying support. If you grew up with the narcissistic as a parent, you are ripe game for having attracted them throughout your life. With the oncoming onslaught of an entirely different world and societal paradigm, we can ditch this behavior once and for all. More easily done by the victim than the perpetrator who can't see anything wrong with themselves. Where do you need to be seen and heard now in all your luster? For Aries, in your creative endeavors and romantic liaisons. For Taurus, by your family, original or created. For Gemini, with your peers and colleagues, siblings if possible. For Cancer, in acceptance and compensation for your talents. For Leo, an appreciation for your fully creative self, time to be the king or queen. For Virgo, in recognizing that you have visions that are valuable. For Libra, in your social circles, public shows. For Scorpio, in your professional life. For Sagittarius, regarding your spiritual worldviews. For Capricorn, in your intimate partnership. For Aquarius, by your significant other. And in Pisces, in how you manage your life and your coworkers. So rather than wasting time and energy attempting to get someone to see you clearly, move in the circles where you're accepted and loved without a lot of drama. Turn away from those people or situations that demand that you suppress your true self to fit into their distorted narrative. The future waits for no one, and we must now rapidly step into our authentic roles. I'm Met Astrologer Patrice Kamens.